Namaste, Usha ji, and all the viewers. Spoken with some entrepreneurs, but today is a person who is giving a platform to the entrepreneurs. So that's really exciting. And let me welcome formally Ms. Usha Nirmala ji, who is a co-founder of Mulya.global. And Mulya word itself is very authentic and Indian. So let us talk how this idea crop and what she thought of before starting this venture, which is a step towards women empowerment, Atmanirbhar, and women entrepreneur, which is a need of the hour, especially during the time of pandemic, where our honorable Prime Minister and the entire system working on making people independent and financially more strong and more interdependent. So all this, what we will talk to Shaji today. Once again, thanks for your time and बहुत बहुत स्वागत.
Thank you so much, Kirti ji. Thank you for giving this opportunity. And namaste to all your viewers. Yeah, to start with, a little about me, Kirti.
जी.
I come with 18 plus years of experience in the corporate life. The last 5 years has been my entrepreneurial journey. So, how did I become an entrepreneur? Maybe it is in the blood. My father is a self-made businessman, though coming from a small town. Whatever today we are, all of us are, it is only because of him.
Wonderful.
So we are three siblings. My elder brother is a special child. So with so many challenges around, my father, whatever has been able to give us, is one thing that think big, never look back. So that is what we are today, and that helped me become an entrepreneur and a venture capitalist and a investor of my own kind. So working for the corporate organizations and enterprises like large players, been there for about 15 years and been wanting to do something on my own right from the very beginning. So that's how it all happened way back in 2013, where I started as a passive investor with like-minded people. And we've been thinking over many things. And one fine day, when we wanted to understand what is happening in the ground reality, what is happening at the grassroots level in India, that's where we thought that startups do not have the right platform or the right foundation. And that's how we all ideated on this wonderful platform called Mulya, which is nothing but Mula, which is a very Sanskrit word. And that's how it all happened way back in 2016. So we are a set of like-minded people, around 6 to 7 people. And we are 2 women in the team, and the rest of them are all men. But also we form the minority, but still we have the major stake in everything. Be it
on the International Women's Day, somebody spoke to me and then she said, there is always a woman behind every successful man, but there is always a successful man behind every successful woman. So, yes, that's wonderful. Okay, where are you located actually?
I am from based out of Hyderabad at the moment.
But the venture is in Hyderabad?
Yeah, the venture started off in Hyderabad. We have our satellite offices elsewhere. We have our office in the US and Pan India across. But due to pandemic, we are keeping it low.
Definitely. So, Usha ji, I have spoken with a couple or more startups, really innovative people, women, of course. And, their ventures are out of need or out of innovation. But need is always a mother of innovation, they call it. So that's how they have started. One person from somewhere in Uttar Pradesh, a very basic thing which we never think of, the mobility for women. There is so much of dependency in terms of mobility. My husband should drop me, mera beta drop karega, mere in-laws mein se koi aayega. There's a lot of dependency. So mother and daughter duo, they started scooter riding training school, beginning with the neighbors, and now they have gone all over. And I am Calcutta, have ventured into it, and they have given them the all kind of support. So what the young girl is 28 years old child who has started this, and she said everybody talks about women empowerment, but this is a step towards women empowerment. उनको थोड़ा सा भी कुछ सीखने जाना है, तो they need a vehicle, they need a mobility, and that is where they have started. Abhi, now what I want to ask you is a very, very basic thing, but it's important. Like women do not have too much of exposure, one by design, second by choice. Many women do not want to do anything. They are happy with their, comfortable life. Now, what do you think? They don't need it because other side of the life. If they are working, if they are engaged with their professional commitments, somewhere the personal commitments do take second priority, and that is where the values are compromised, so called. So, do you think it is advisable to first of all get into the business opportunity for women?
Absolutely. See, this goes back to our culture. If you look at, women have always been equal or more than men, right? So if you look at the mother or is the CEO or the boss of the family, so it goes back to that. But unfortunately, due to societal pressures, due to family pressures, women are taking a backseat, but it was in the past and no more in the current times. The story that you just narrated about the lady and the mother about the mobility, I think that itself is a great initiative.
Yes.
They actually wanted to enable women not to depend on any other person. I think that itself is something, innovation of its kind. If you look at me, I can drive even a 8-wheeler or a 10-wheeler. Okay. So if it starts there, I think nothing like it. I think all women should be very, very mobile in any field, just not be able to drive a cycle or a car or a lorry or a truck or whatever. So that's how I look at it. And these two women, I think they're Wonder Women, and there are many more such people coming across in the current scenarios. If you look at Hyderabad, we have a lady called Archana who teaches people how to ride a bike, and her core initiative is riding a bike. And she does it as a service, she does it as a business, and all such things, first of all, needs incubation.
Yes.
Take it to the next level of acceleration and the third level of scaling. So we all start small somewhere, but starting small is very good. But how do we incubate it? How do we accelerate it? And how do we scale it to the next level? I think that is the mantra for anyone.
Perfect. Okay. We are appealing, or we are rather requesting or motivating women to start something on their own, and by which they will also employ other women, and that will be a wonderful win-win position. Next thing I want to ask you is, do you think women as an innovator are more setback, or they are good in that field?
Like I said, I think women are, born innovators. If you look at, they have innovation in the blood. The way they run the families, the way they become the CEO of the own family, and the way they work outside, come back, do multitasking. They have the perseverance in them. They have the patience in them. They have a biological ability in them to reproduce. And they do everything equally to men or more than men. I think women itself are natural innovators. It's just because of certain XYZ factors of the society, they're not able to go the way they intend to.
Okay. How do you want to bring not only women, let's talk about the young entrepreneurs also now. How do you want them to, get into this thought process? Because, not only having an innovative idea, it's also about capital, which is the most important part of any business for that matter. And third thing is the market. So how as a Mulya group, you innovate people?
Okay.
Rather motivate.
Okay. The first thing is the STEM. I think people need to understand what does it give it to them. The second thing is the encouragement that is required from both the society, the family, and the environment. And the last thing comes the capital. The minute you have an idea and if you're able to execute it with enablers like Mulya, I think there's no looking back. And what will Mulya bring in? Mulya will bring in your entire startup infrastructure, which is your incubation, your acceleration, and your ability to scale to the next level. And that's exactly.
I have an idea. Let's go with the practical example. I have an idea in food processing industry, for example. Okay, it may not be very fine-tuned. It may not be very professionally thought of, but there is something I have thought, which is a basic fundamental problem I'm trying to address, and I come with that idea to Mulya. How the things move forward.
Okay, that's a very good thing. The first thing is like ideas are many, but we would first try and understand, is the idea viable? Is there competition in the market? Are there like players like you? If they are, maybe we'll try to give you the details of it. In case if there are not, we will try to do more research and try to help you as to where would you fit in, how would you fit in, where is the location that you would be doing great. So we will come up with curated models telling that this idea could be a great idea, not here but elsewhere. Or else this idea could be great here with XYZ tweaking. So that's exactly what Mulya does. So Mulya will validate the idea, will try to research, will try to understand the market, will try to give you n number of ways to execute it. If it is not an idea that is viable, Mulya will not shy away telling you that this may not be a great idea to go with.
Wonderful. So, Ushaji, I'm sure you have a team of experts who would be doing this. So, do you want to tell a little bit more about it?
Yeah, we are a technology team. We have a technology in place. This is what we call the CXO team.
Okay. Okay. And
how we do is with technology.
Right. And it is it a type of multiple people, like financiers, like marketing staff, by like technology savvy people, like techniques, SMEs? Is it something like that?
Yeah, this is called shared CXO model. Yeah. So we have chief executive officers and chief multiple officers at multiple levels, where you say the CEOs, the CEOs, the CXOs, the chief marketing officers, the strategy officers, the chief financial officers. So all of this in a shared model. That's what Mulya brings in.
It's called the first digital startup ecosystem. And you're claiming it world's first startup. Yeah, I can see that. Yes. Yes. That's quite attractive, quite impressive. And congratulations for that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have you already seen the successful models under your umbrella?
Yes, we have done. We have done about 3 to 4 cohorts, out of which we at least have 2 or 3 successful organizations from each cohort.
Okay. Okay. And they have grown up under your guidance completely.
Absolutely. Correct.
Wonderful. That's really wonderful. How is, now when I did my opening remark, that's what I said, that, it's a need of the hour to be independent, or rather a startup, or even in business, basically. How is the government support to you on this?
Well, the governments are very, very supportive. In fact, if you look at, I think the entire landscape has changed. The governments are very supportive. The institutions are supportive. The corporates are very supportive. But the only concern that I have as an individual or as a woman is, I think the families have to be more supportive. That is the backbone of any woman or anybody, just not women. I think for anyone across the globe, I think if there isn't enough family support and enough encouragement coming in, any one of us can fall flat.
Yes, true. Yeah, please. I want to hear.
So just not relying on the governments and the corporates and the institutions, I think if the change comes in from the family side, not every parent wanting their son or a daughter to become a doctor, engineer, or an employee elsewhere. I wish every parent aims of their son or daughter becoming an entrepreneur. Okay. I think that's where it starts.
Okay, now let me become a devious advocate and ask you, see, 70 to 75% of our population is a middle class, upper middle class background. And we are a working class segment by large. Now, suddenly, by seeing Ambani's, by seeing Tata's, or by seeing Ushaji, I cannot think of starting a venture because, as you rightly said, no one in my family has done it before. One, I lack in the experience too. And third, I do not have a courage to take the risk of finance because ultimately it boils down to that. And
Correct.
what do you want to say to such mindset? Because it's valid in its way, but somewhere it is required to cross and break the barrier.
Okay. One line for this from me would be no risks, no gains. So unless until you risk, you cannot gain anything significant. If you start thinking very, very small, I think your prospect or your progress will only be that much. So you should always think, make, prepare for the worst and prepare for the best also. It's just not being positive, telling that I will be successful tomorrow. Also be prepared. What if I fail? And how do I get up from my failure?
Do you do Mulla helps in that as
Absolutely. Yeah. That's where exactly we say we curate all of it. And we also tell them where exactly are the risks associated and how one should go with it. So we always would want to take chance, not wanting to sit behind and regret about it in later.
And I'm sure somewhere women, once again, let's come to the topic because this program is for women, and once again, let's focus on them. You know what? Education is a major challenge in women's sector. Still, after
Mhm.
the 70 years of independence, some areas of our nation are deprived of education when it comes to women. It's still there is a good amount of discrimination, good amount of um, reserve mindset that girls should not go for higher education. Of course, it has come long way, and things are improving. But do you think that has to be also addressed through these startups?
The current education, if you look at, is good. I think the new education policy which is rolled out, I think that can bring in a lot of change,
Yes.
especially in the Indian young bubbling team. I think we are the youngest nation. These are the times where everyone is looking into India, and no wonder as to why, because we are 500 million population who are coming out into the market in the next 5 to 10 years. And any education related to the science, technology, engineering, and medical, I think have n number of ways where you can progress. And education in the current times, I don't see it as a challenge because there are various means and measures where kids can get educated, and especially the young girls.
So many people, I personally think, I'm a very big promoter of education. So I personally think people should start some sort of ventures in the education system, wherein they can reach to the rarest of the rarest locations and encourage the not so fortunate section of the society to get
Mhm.
educated. And I request Mulya to take some initiative on that part because
Sure.
unless
Okay.
they're educated, they won't be having the exposure to the world.
Okay. To give you an update or a little heads up on what we do is like we are incubators and we are incubation partners for a large university in the north.
Huh.
So what we do with them is like we do a initiative called EduTech, and we take the education and ideation and all kinds of brilliant ideas to a grassroots level mechanism. And education is what they promote. We say it as incubation as a service, and we take the university to these masses. So this particular university support them in every manner that they are requiring help from. So edutech is the big thing that is coming into place. Not only people who can afford, but also for people who can't afford.
Hmm. And I think academics play a major role here because that's where that innovative ideas and courageous mindset starts, where you can think of out of box and think of starting your own ventures.
Yeah, just not technology. If you look at, again, going back to the STEM, I think there are many ideas on the art side. There are many ideas on the humanities. There are many things in the finance side. I think the minute you find a solution to a problem that is existing, I think that can become $1 million idea.
STEM, STEM.
The science, technology, engineering, and medical. I think this will form the base of any innovation, because that's where a problem or the solutioning mindset comes in.
Yeah, maybe you can involve a lifestyle also in this, because
Yeah.
many things associated with that as well.
Yeah, the medical, when you say, it is a larger concept which has health, wellness, and management of the entire health tech into it.
Right. So, any ideas that you want to share with women? Again, I'm talking about the people who do not have much understanding of technology, including my,
Mhm.
who do not have much idea of how can they start their own venture. XYZ person did engineering, but
Mhm.
the typical mindset of our society, not able
Mhm.
to work because she has to look after the family, raise the children. But somewhere there is a fire that I want to do something.
Mhm.
Such people, they need a good amount of support, not only the family but people like you.
Mhm.
So, what is you want to communicate to them?
The first and foremost, the person should be bold. That's all. If a person is bold, has confidence, and want to do something, I think that is a prime ingredient for anyone. And the next, there are many in their own set of areas. For example, the cottage industry, the food industry, and the education itself. You can bring in many I think ideas can come out from that.
Right, right. Somebody, when I talked about our program today, somebody asked me this question, and brilliant MTech lady uh, worked for some time, but had to quit her professional life. However, now has changed her shift. She doesn't want to be in IT anymore, but she wants to use the technology for any other venture that she wants to get into.
Mhm.
Will Ulya be able to support such people?
Absolutely. Especially, we have a concept in Mulya called Naripreneur. That is a trademark for Mulya.
Mhm.
The word Nari as a woman and preneur. And we act as mentors for them. We advise them. We handhold them. So what Mulya does is we bring in an experiential learning. So what all we have undergone, we will take the learnings from that. We will handhold them. We will walk their dream, talk their dream, and dream their dream. So for people who are wanting to do something, I think their first thing is like they need to have the skin in the game, travel along the journey, not drop it somewhere. I think that is I
Yeah,
think the success mantra is that.
that. Okay. Are you? You already said that you are spread across Pan India, so you exist in almost all the cities, maybe,
We
and
are actually existing now. Earlier, we were there.
yeah, but that's okay. This is a kind of a break for everyone. So, nothing we can do about it. Let's hope that things become normal and everything falls in place as quickly as possible. Ushaji, one personal question. I mean, one thing comes to my mind. Relax, don't worry, it's not so formal. That you know, women do not even have an understanding about the finance part so fluently, because handling a house matter and how handling a business matter, they are two different things, whether we like it or not. And women struggle on that part. And you know what happens mostly, there is a norm or there is a mindset that the businesses are start in the name of women just to take the advantage from the government policies, but women generally do not know anything about that particular business. I have come across such women entrepreneurs also that they do not know what their company is doing. However, they are there in the list of stakeholders. So what?
Uh, Not really. I think it is not 100% true.
No, no.
Yeah, it is not 100% true. I think educated women know what it is. I think if they're aware of what the particular business is into, they will completely take it into their control, at least if someone is there.
So there are something called as self-help groups in our rural places,
Mhm.
wherein very small petty work at home is started by women. So
Mhm.
which section are you targeting under Mulya?
What is
Anyone from small to big can come to you?
anyone can come in, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone can come to you and you will help them. Okay. So, $1 billion question. How is your terms and conditions if somebody wants to strike a deal with you?
Okay, we can always take that discussion on an email or offline on one-on-one, because that is not, it's not like one bill fits all or one size fits all. So we are technology agnostic. We cater to every segment and we are masters of every segment.
So, how long are you going to support the person to sustain? A year?
Uh, Yeah, to start with, we take subscriptions for a year.
Okay.
If it is required and if we see that somebody needs a better hand holding and a more amount of time is required, we are there with it.
Okay. Wonderful.
And even Mulya, if you look at, we technically say that we are from entry to exit. So how long is the startup wanting us to be there and how long our support is required for a healthy environment? So it is up to discussions,
Yes.
and we can always talk on that.
Correct. Perfect. Wonderful. One last question. What is your roadmap?
Our roadmap, I think we have a very, very audacious roadmap. We want to be, like we said, the digital, world's first digital startup ecosystem. I think we want to be the next billion-dollar company.
All the best for that.
Thank you so much.
So it was nice talking to you, Shaji, and my best wishes. And I hope more and more women get attached with you, and more women start their own ventures, because, as you said, they are innovative, they are sensitive, and they are equally, social entrepreneurs. So they can become a very sensitive entrepreneurs also under your umbrella. So thank you very much and all the best and lots of good congratulations for all your endeavors, your future. And I'm really happy to see you in person. It's wonderful to meet you and talk to you. You are a very vibrant young person. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all your viewers. And thanks to you and your team for giving me this opportunity. So look forward to having more such sessions.
Definitely. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.